Warning, the following presentation is for educational purposes, which contains graphic descriptions of crimes and is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Caylee Marie Anthony was born March 16, 1986, in Warren, Ohio, to George and Cindy Anthony. Caylee was described as a bright and energetic child. In later years, the family moves to Orlando, Florida, home to multiple amusement parks like Disney World, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Universal Studios, etc. As Caylee grew, she became a total pathological liar. Starting out fibbing about little things, and by high school, she had completely fabricated her senior year. Cindy and George even threw her a graduation party to celebrate this milestone. But as the date of actually walking across the stage and receiving a diploma approached, Cindy would ask Caylee questions, like about the tickets, seating, time, location, so on and so forth, but Caylee wouldn't give her a stern answer. Cindy ended up calling the school to find out Caylee wouldn't be graduating at all, failing most of her classes and missing several days of school. Caylee would end up dropping out. Her priorities at the time was to simply party with friends. She later snagged a job at Universal. In 2005, Caylee became pregnant at the age of 19. The father remains unknown. Caylee would keep her pregnancy a secret until she couldn't anymore. Caylee broke the news to her parents at 7 months pregnant. She also made it clear she didn't want to keep the baby and wanted to place it up for adoption, but Cindy and George disapproved. They couldn't believe this was even a thought in her mind, and she was forbidden to do so. Caylee gave birth August 9th, 2005, to a baby girl she named Caylee Marie Anthony. Cindy and George became doting grandparents. Caylee was absolutely adored by them. On Father's Day, June 16th, 2008, there was an explosive argument in the Anthony household. Caylee would pack up a bag and drive off with Caylee. As time passed and tempers cooled, Cindy would call and check in and ask for Caylee. But every time she'd call, Caylee would say Caylee was over at the nanny's or taking a nap. During this time away from home, Caylee was seen out partying with friends, got a new tattoo, was even in a sexy body competition at a club. But where was Caylee? One day, Caylee drives to a cash checking place. Once she arrived, she was completely out of gas. Instead of getting the car towed, she just left it there. Eventually, employees of the cash checking place got this now abandoned vehicle towed off its property and taken to the pound. George then received a call from the impound lot letting him know the car was there. Frustrated and confused as to why the car was left there in the first place, George made his way there to retrieve the car. Once there, George paid the impound release fees and was led to the vehicle by an employee. George opens the door to be overtaken by this pungent odor. He had worked as a police officer for several years, so unfortunately, the smell was a familiar one. George would bring the car home where Cindy was waiting. She began trying to contact Caylee again, to no avail. Cindy would ultimately track down Caylee at a boyfriend's house. Once there, Cindy found Caylee hanging out all nonchalantly with friends surrounded by drug paraphernalia. Cindy angrily confronted Caylee, asking what are you doing? Where is Caylee? But Caylee would just recycle the same answers she's been giving for a month now, that she's with the nanny. Zanita Fernandez Gonzalez, or Zanny the nanny, as Caylee would put it. Cindy drags Caylee home and calls 911. She tells operators that Caylee had stolen her car along with some money and that she needed to be arrested. A couple hours later, she called again.
911, what's your emergency? I called a little bit ago. The deputy sheriff saying that I found out my granddaughter has been taken. She has been missing for a month. Mother finally admitted that she's been missing.
Okay, what is
here now?
Okay, what is the address that you're calling from?
We're talking about a 3-year-old little girl. My daughter finally admitted that the baby's in the store. I need to find her.
Your daughter admitted that the baby is where?
But the babysitter took her a month ago that my daughter's been looking for. I told you my daughter was missing for a month. I just found her today, but I can't find my granddaughter. She just admitted to me that she's been trying to find her herself. There's something wrong. I found my daughter's car today, and it smells like there's been a dead body in the damn car.
Okay, is your daughter there?
Yes.
Can I speak with her?
Okay, downstairs. They want to talk to you. Answer the question.
Hello?
Yes.
Well, can you tell me what's going on a little bit?
I'm sorry?
Can you tell me a little bit what's going on?
My daughter's been missing for the last 31 days.
And you know who has her?
I know who has her. I've tried to contact her.
And you last saw her a month ago?
31 days. It's been 31 days.
Who has her? Do you have a name?
Her name is Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez.
Who is that? Babysitter?
She's been my nanny for about a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Why are you calling now? Why didn't you call 31 days ago?
I've been looking for her and have gone through other resources to try to find her, which was stupid.
Once police arrived, they had Caylee lead them to the last place she saw the nanny, which was at the apartment complex she lived at. But doorbells would go unanswered, and police would try and peek through the windows, but it appeared that nobody lived there. So they asked the landlord for tenant history of that apartment, but they were told no one lived there since March. And the security camera shows no one matching the description Caylee gave investigators of Zanny the nanny. Police now turned their attention to Caylee, now knowing she's been lying. Police took Caylee to Universal and asked her to escort them to her boss. Caylee agreed and had investigators follow her aimlessly through Universal Studios before turning around like, just kidding, I don't work here. On July 16th, Caylee was arrested for making false statements, obstruction of justice, and neglecting Caylee. The car would be tested. Police canines would confirm signs of decomposition. There were stains in the carpet of the trunk matching the size of a small body. Chloroform and hair would also be found in the carpet. The hair had a dark banding on it, which only happens during decomposition. Investigators found someone was looking up chloroform on the family computer. Cindy would say it was a typo. She was looking up chlorophyll to see if it was dangerous to pets, because she saw her dogs eating bamboo in the backyard. Yeah, sure, but these searches were found to have been done while Cindy was at work. So, yeah. On December 11th, a meter reader was working less than a mile from the Anthony home and came across a skull. He calls 911. Police would find a skull with duct tape on it. Inside a bag close by was a Winnie the Pooh blanket and more bones. On December 19th, police confirmed the remains indeed belonged to Caylee Anthony. Police got a warrant to the Anthony household, and once they saw Caylee's room was Winnie the Pooh themed, Caylee was now being charged with first-degree murder. On May 24th, 2011, the trial began. And what a complete show it was. At this point, we know Caylee lied about a lot. There is no nanny and no job. Like, what else is she gonna say? Well, according to the defense, Caylee claimed she was molested by her father, George, when she was a child. And this is what led her to develop the ability to disassociate and lie about everything. Of course, George took the stand and denied all accusations against him. The prosecutor believed Caylee murdered Caylee by rendering her unconscious through the means of chloroform, placing duct tape over her mouth and nose, wrapping her up in a Winnie the Pooh blanket, putting her in a bag, and then placing her in the trunk, so she could go on and live her life the way she wanted to, without any parental responsibilities. The defense claimed that George found Caylee in the above-ground pool she had drowned, and he then helped Caylee dispose of the body.
Court for the 9th Judicial Circuit in and for Orange County, Florida. State of Florida versus Caylee Marie Anthony. As to case number 2008 CF 15606-0. As to the charge of first-degree murder, verdict as to count 1, we the jury find the defendant not guilty, so say we all, dated at Orlando, Orange County, Florida, on this 5th day of July, 2011, signed foreperson.
And on July 17th, 2011, she walked free. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please comment, like, subscribe. I truly appreciate it. Thank you.